Okay, I have tried to record this video probably 2 or 3 times at this point, but you know what? We're doing this off script, like I do literally every other video. I got the hiccups. It'll be fun to edit for that reason alone. The auto editor will pick out everything that isn't me hiccuping. So what is today's tier list going to be about? There have been a million different kaiju and mecha in the Godzilla franchise. And obviously I'm a Godzilla channel, right? Or mostly. So how do I rank the different Godzilla monsters? Now, I already did a Godzilla suit/design tier list video. This list also includes several of the Godzilla designs, so I'm going to try to rank them as closely as I can to that video, but there may be some discrepancies. Unlike usual, I'm not going to modify any of these tiers, it's just your standard S through D. There are a lot of monsters here, so let's just do this by the seat of our pants. And by our, I mean my. 84 Godzilla was pretty mediocre from what I remember in the Godzilla suit design tier list, so it'll go about there. Where do I rank the original Anguirus in relation to that? I'm gonna put the original Anguirus 1955/Angilas. Check out my Save the Earth Melee video on that. This design just didn't do very much for me. Later versions of Anguirus improved the design substantially, but this I think is the later day Heisei variation. So that's gonna go just in A because for some reason Guido/Biogoji is the next one in the tier list, even though it technically came before it temporally. And that one's going in S because, I mean, like I said, that one's the GOAT. It's probably going to be the top of this design list as well. But I'm going to try not to rank it purely on how they look because this is also the other monsters, which is kind of boring considering that the first, like, 6 monsters here are all Godzilla, with the sole exception of Anguirus 1955. Okay, this is tough. I'm going to put Baby Godzilla underneath Angilas. The Godzilla spawn design really improved as the Heisei movies progressed. Baby is without a doubt the ugliest of the 3 versions of the Godzilla spawn in the Heisei movies. From what I can tell from looking at this, this is the Godzilla Jr. copy that was in the Matthew Broderick 1998 Roland Emmerich American Godzilla. So that one goes into D just because it looks awful. I mean, I guess they were kind of practical. That's the best I can say for it. This will get more interesting as we go along. Battra is going into A behind the other versions of Heisei Godzilla, and the only reason for that is that Heisei Godzilla is the GOAT. The larval form, on the other hand, is going ahead of him. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna put Battra Larva into S. Okay, this one's a Monsterverse Titan, and this one's probably the only one you're going to hear anything positive about from me. I'm going to put him into mediocre underneath 1984 Godzilla. Behemoth is the only Monsterverse exclusive or otherwise Monsterverse original Titan that I have anything positive to say about. Biollante goes into S. The origin, while complex, is unique and it's relevant to the story. Biollante is one of the most memorable kaiju of the franchise, so easy S tier. Okay, so the question is, where does Burning Godzilla go in relationship with Biollante? I'm still gonna say that Burning Godzilla goes ahead of Biollante, just because the strength of the Heisei Godzilla design is immense. Burning Legendary, from what I recall, he goes ahead of the 1984 Godzilla design, but I wouldn't put him any higher, so he's definitely not beating even the Imago version of Battra. The next one is Dagon, which is one of the Monsterverse kaiju technically. It's the dead Godzilla bones at the beginning of Godzilla 2014. Why is this a separate ranking on this tier list maker? I'm putting this one underneath Behemoth because it's literally just 2014 Godzilla, except it's not. Destoroyah, easy S tier. No need to elaborate on that. The Dorats. Unpopular opinion maybe, the Dorats are cuter than Baby Godzilla. They only show up for like, what, 30 minutes tops? But I like the design more. Is it very Japanese and rather pointless?
Maybe.
But I'm putting it there and we can't argue any further about it. Mozu Goji. Okay, so this is gonna go into A. I'm gonna put it ahead of Battra Imago just because Battra Imago is rather lackluster in comparison to the larval form. Ooh, boy. Hope everyone's ready for some piping hot controversy. I'm putting the MUTOs into D tier. And this is the standard MUTO that was in Godzilla 2014. I believe specifically that's a picture of the female MUTO. I'm putting it above the junior version of 1998 Godzilla, but that's literally only because that's the only thing that's worse that we've gone up against so far in this list. Final Wars Anguirus. Again, I'm going to put him over top of the Imago Battra, just because Imago Battra is such a wet rag in comparison to the absolute Chad energy of Anguirus in Godzilla Final Wars. Plus, I want to give him some credit for the, Final Wars soccer sequence. Okay, we got Final Wars Ebirah next. He cooked the Krabby Patties. Where does he go, though? They don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. I'm gonna put him below Imago Battra, just because Imago Battra is more colorful. Okay, this one's inarguable. Final Wars Gigan is going into S. I just don't know where to put him in relationship to Destoroyah. I think I'm gonna put him above Destoroyah. I feel like that one's a contentious discussion though, so they could probably be swapped. I don't know. Final Wars Godzilla. I believe he was above Mosu Goji, but he was underneath the Heisei Godzillas in the Godzilla suit tier list. Next, we got Final Wars Hedorah. Most of the credit for this one comes from the fact that it's a Hedorah design. I'm going to put him under 1984 Godzilla just because, if I don't recall, if you closely analyze the Final Wars Hedorah design, it kind of falls apart. It's not as good as the Showa design. Final Wars Kamacuras. It goes ahead of Final Wars Hedorah just because I like Final Wars Kamacuras' sequence more than I like Final Wars Hedorah's sequence. Final Wars King Caesar. Better than Final Wars Ebirah, but below Imago Battra. Final Wars Kumonga. Better than Final Wars Hedorah, worse than Final Wars Kamacuras. Same deal for Final Wars Manda. If it was in a better sequence, it would be higher, but we never see it do anything other than wrap around the Gotengo and get obliterated by an absolute zero cannon. Final Wars Minilla. Off the bat, he's better than Baby, and he's better than the Dorats. He's sleeker than 1955 Anguirus, but Dagon is basically just 2014 Godzilla, so I'm gonna have to keep him here. Top of C. Final Wars Mothra is basically Tokyo SOS Mothra. I'm gonna put that one behind Final Wars Ebirah just because I'm not really a huge fan of Mothra. Alright, Final Wars Rodan. Controversial maybe, but I'm gonna put him ahead of Mosu Goji and Final Wars Anguirus. I feel like Final Wars Rodan's one of the better designed iterations of a monster within Godzilla Final Wars. Fire Rodan, I have said before that I like Fire Rodan, but the concept can only be carried so far. It's better than Kamacuras and Final Wars, but I would say 1984 Godzilla kind of edges Fire Rodan out. Showa Ganimes, which is the only Ganimes. Oh boy. I'm putting him above 1955 Anguirus / Angilas. That's only because the suit looks like it's moderately slicker and more well put together than 1955 Anguirus. Otherwise, it's literally just Ebirah, but not so great. Gezora. Where does Gezora go? I'm gonna put Gezora above Ganimes and Final Wars Minilla. I feel like a lot of the credit for that goes to the Godzilla Rulers of Earth comic. There are so many things to go through on this list. GMK Baragon. I like him more than the Final Wars version of Mothra, but not really great otherwise. I don't exactly remember where I put Sokogeki Godzilla, GMK Godzilla, in relationship to the Final Wars Godzilla, but I'm just gonna plop him ahead of him here. No, never mind. Put Final Goji ahead of him in that old video, so there we go. Ghidorah 2001. I'm gonna put him over Final Wars Mothra, but that's only because Mothra is for losers. Now, you might think that my GMK Mothra would be basically in the same spot as the Tokyo SOS Mothra. No, that's not the case. GMK Mothra is going over Ganimes, but under Final Wars Minilla. And that's a really sad state of affairs if Minya is beating you at anything. Godzilla 98 / Tora Goji. Just going off of my old rankings on the Godzilla design tier list. Myra Goji is going to go above Final Goji, but under the Heisei Godzilla design. Well, I guess since Gira Goji / Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla Godzilla is a separate icon here, I'm going to put Gira Goji over Ebirah, but that's as far down and as far up as I'm going to go with that one. Godzilla Filius and Godzilla Earth. Why does everyone separate these two? Putting these two underneath Dagon, because it's basically just 2014 Godzilla, and the anime Godzilla design was underneath 2014 Godzilla in the suit tier list, so Godzilla Jr. So off the bat, both of the Heisei Godzilla designs are pretty high, but 84 is pretty low, so I feel like it goes somewhere in between those two things. I'm putting him under Gira Goji. I don't know, for some reason, Godzilla Jr. just lacks much of the punch of the adult Godzillas in the Heisei era. So you might think that I would rank the Godzilla Jr. from Godzilla the series alongside his brethren, but I'm going to put him right under 84 Godzilla. I'm kind of trying to think about this, like, if I could play these guys in, like, a fighting game. Godzilla Saviors Melee. Which one would I prefer? And I feel like I'd pick Godzilla 1984 over Godzilla the series Godzilla Jr. Oh, this one's pretty funny. Godzillasaurus. I'm putting him above the MUTOs because screw you, but under Baby because obviously without the radioactive element, the design can only look so radical. Gorosaurus. Gorosaurus is going above Final Wars Anguirus, but under Mozu Goji. 1991 King Ghidorah is going underneath Destoroyah and above Biollante. It gets most of that credit off of the back of the fact that it's a King Ghidorah design, but King Ghidorah looks great. I just think the Heisei version is the best one. Mechagodzilla 1993. I'm gonna put him underneath Sokogeki Godzilla and above Final Wars Rodan. Mechagodzilla is always a fan favorite, and I prefer Mechagodzilla to Rodan. But I mean, GMK Godzilla is hard to beat, so. Mogera. I'm putting Mogera ahead of Fire Rodan, but that's the best you're gonna get out of me. Heisei Mothra goes into the S tier. That's my favorite Mothra. Oh, I didn't realize that one's the Imago form. The Larva? That one's going above the Dorat, and that's just because it's a more evolved larval form, so to speak. Non-Fire Rodan from the Heisei series. This one's going above Angilas, and no higher. I refuse to elaborate. Kamada-kun. So where does Kamada-kun rank among all the monsters? I put it in a separate tier in the Godzilla designs video. I like it more than the MUTOs, but I prefer Godzillasaurus. Zoa Kamibus goes in above Heisei Larva Mothra. Kaiser Ghidorah. Okay, I don't really like the four-legged versions of King Ghidorah. I really don't. But
we could have an upset on our hands here.
I'm gonna put it above Final Wars Ebirah. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm gonna put it ahead of Heisei Godzilla Jr., but okay, now for ones that we don't even understand why they're on this tier list, because we already went over Final Godzilla. If we're going based off of the picture, I love this moment. So in that moment, that picture is, that's the best one, even surpassing Heisei Godzilla. But again, I don't understand why that one's even on here. Final Goji is already a separate icon. Oh boy, Derpy King Kong. This suit is so ugly. It goes in above Kora Goji / Godzilla 1998, but under the MUTOs, which is probably the only matchup the MUTOs are going to be winning in this thing. Okay, so the Kiryu Goji suit. I'm putting it above Gigan Final Wars, just because I think Godzilla wins that. In terms of design, I prefer the Godzilla design to Gigan, but it's not a knock against Gigan, it's just really, really stiff competition. I mean, so stiff that in some of the fight scenes, it barely moves. The SOS Larva, who honestly even gives a shit? They go over the Dorats. The adult form goes literally smack with the Final Wars Mothra. They're the same thing. Why did we separate this tier list so finely? Why is there such a separation? Kiryu. Okay, so automatically I like Kiryu more than I like Mothra. It goes above Battra. Goes over Biollante. It goes over King Ghidorah. I think that's about as far as you go. Destoroyah is going to keep it from going any higher. Legendary Kong. It goes above Fire Rodan, but under Mogera. Oh my goodness. Mechagodzilla. It was under Shokugeki Godzilla. I'm going to plop it under Mechagodzilla 1993, but above Final Wars Rodan. Little Godzilla. Under Battra Larva, but over Imago Mothra 90s. Why? Muto. D tier. I don't care. Mecha King Ghidorah. Just because it's not regular King Ghidorah. It goes under King Ghidorah, but I put it above Biollante for the sole fact that I don't want this tier list to go on for 3 billion years. I'm assuming because this one is next to Mechagodzilla that it's something from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, but I can't even tell what it is, so it goes all the way to the bottom. I blame the person who made this frickin' tier list. Mechagodzilla, above Mogera, under Godzilla the series Godzilla. Megalon, under Heisei Godzilla Jr., above Final Wars Ebirah. Mother of all that is holy. I know this is out of order, but this frickin' thing from Kong Skull Island, it's going over the baby Godzillas from Godzilla 98, but that's it. That's all you're getting. Man, the more I look at this list of things to rank, the angrier I get. The Meganura. Dude, I am so tired. This thing, Methuselah, most of the Titans are incredibly boring. So I guess we'll start out with it being better than the MUTOs, better than Kamacuras, it's better than Godzillasaurus, better than Baby and the Dorats, it's better than the Larva Mothras, but it's not better than Ganimes. Screw you, I'm not explaining why. Daisenso Godzilla. Going under Baragon. Millennium, I think. Dude, why are all these monsters? There's so many in here. Can't even tell what this is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be the Millennium? If it's the Millennium, then I guess I put it over Kamacuras and, well, it would go over Godzillasaurus too. And Baby. And the Dorats. And the Mothra Larva. I guess it goes under Methuselah. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Go to hell, whoever made this tier list. Monster X. Popular opinion, I put it over King Ghidorah 1991. Oh boy, another stinker. Monsterverse Mothra Larva. I put it over Kamacuras and underneath the Godzillasaurus. Monsterverse Mothra Imago. Put it over Heisei Rodan. Legendary Godzilla. This one's Garagoji. So I put it over Dagon. And that's it. Doha Goji. Let me check my tier rankings for the Godzilla designs. I have it over top of Megarogoji. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mechagodzilla 1993 beats it. King Ghidorah 2019. This one's gonna be tough. I'm putting it under the Heisei Ghidorahs. That's as best you're getting. You'll have 72 of these frickin' icons to go through. Rodan 2019. I put him over Godzilla Jr. Or, sorry, Little Godzilla. I have so many of these things. I'm getting tired of this. Muto Prime. Well, it's better than the other Mutos, that's for damn sure. It's better than Kamacuras. Better than Mothra Larva and Godzillasaurus. I don't like it more than the Millennium. And Methuselah is kind of also up there, so screw you. I'm just putting all these Mutos together, man. Aside from Muto Prime, I really don't care. I really don't. Oh, Ukondoru's the best. The giant condor. In all seriousness, where do I put him? Above the Mutos. Yes, I rank the giant condor better than I rank the Mutos. Orga. Oh my goodness. Why? Why are you doing this to me? There's so many. Orga's getting blockaded by Daisenso Goji. Anime Ghidorah, I think. Oh my goodness. Shodai Goji. Goes above Little Godzilla, I guess. Man, this really takes it out of you. I'm just gonna pick icons at random now. Showa Mechagodzilla. Honestly, that one's one of the best designs in the franchise. Just saying. Jet Jaguar. Above GMK Ghidorah? This is so draining. Oh look, it's another anime Godzilla. Oh wait a minute, I'm just gonna put it in the same frickin' spot as I put the other ones. Oh man, the servum's really interesting. No, it's really not. King Caesar 1974. I'm trying to see where the hell I even put 2004 King Caesar. Yeah, no, it's going way down. Putting him over Monsterverse Mothra. I'm not gonna think about it any harder than that. Showa Minya is better than the Mutos. Screw you, that's why. Showa Anguirus, why did it take so long for me to find you? I'm putting him under Shodai Goji, I guess. Showa Mothra Larva. I don't know, dude. Titanosaurus, I guess. Titanosaurus is pretty great. Under Battra Larva and over the 2019 Rodan. Singular Point Rodan. Singular Point Hedorah. Singular Point Kumonga, they're all ass. Singular Point Manda wasn't terrible. As far as I can recall, it wasn't even in the damn show, so I'm gonna dock it for that. It's still gonna go in over Godzilla Earth / Filius / bullshit. I guess there was this thing. Goes in over the servum. You can chalk that up as a win, I guess. The water buffalo thing. It beats the Godzilla 98 babies. Truly an accomplishment worth writing about. Shin Godzilla. I prefer him to Final Wars Rodan. My brain feels like it's gonna melt out of my ears. This is literally just another version of Dawagoji. Whoever made this tier list, I hope you know that I'm suffering and it's all your fault. Showa Rodan goes under Showa Anguirus. We got the 3 right here. I prefer that version of Showa Rodan to this one. I'm gonna put this one underneath Anime Godzilla. I don't know why. Showa Ebirah. I'm putting him right next to Final Wars Ebirah. I prefer the Showa one to the Final Wars one. Space Godzilla. Put it over Heisei Mothra because I don't know. Dude, screw you for putting all these. Why are there 2 skull crawlers? Screw you. Ghidorah above the Anime Godzillas. I don't. Gargantua above the Mothra larva. I don't know. Rose Biollante is not that great to be honest. Above Minilla, under the giant condor. Gigan under Shodagoji, over Showa Anguirus. Showa Mogera. I need to watch this movie. I'm gonna put him under the Heisei Mogera. Showa Mothra. Showa Mothra has always bothered me. It's always looked like it could be killed with a light breeze. I guess it's better than the larva in the Showa series. That's it. Hedorah. I like it more than Showa Rodan and less than Showa Anguirus. Singular Point Anguirus. Kinda has the Godzilla 2000 kind of aesthetic. I don't like it as much as Ebirah though. Showa King Ghidorah. Dude, why? I'm just gonna plop him there. Bottom of S. It's a great design, but I really just don't like the Showa iteration of this character. Shinagawa-kun. Going right next to Kamada. Why is Snow Godzilla on this tier list? Why is this tier list so big? It's under Burning Godzilla. Singular Point Jet Jaguar. It's above the Giant Condor. That's as good as we're getting. It slightly improves when it has the freaking spear thing, I guess. It goes over Kamada-kun in that case. 2021 Mechagodzilla. It goes above Gezora. That's as best you're gonna get. Showa Baragon. Oh, wait a minute. Where the hell did I even put Baragon? This is so exhausting. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put it under the other Baragon because why the hell are they ranked separately? Oh, right, I forgot. The entire purpose of this tier list is to make the people filling it out miserable. Godzilla versus Kong. Oh, you know, this is a really difficult one. Oh, wait a minute. It's basically the same as the other version of Kong from Kong Skull Island. Oh, wait a minute. It's got a beard. Oh, that's so interesting. Really justifies making them 2 separate things. Aquatic Godzilla is shit. Why are there 2 singular point versions of Jet Jaguar? Super Mecha Godzilla. I like him better without the backpack. Varan. Goes above 2021 Mechagodzilla, I guess. Zillla. 98 Godzilla's better, I guess. Technically, why are they separate? Showa Kamacuras is shit. It goes under Singular Point Jet Jaguar with the frickin' spear. Biollante. Over Anagoji, but under Ghidorah. Oh, I wonder what this is. Oh, wait a minute, it's the same exact frickin' thing. The Skull Crawler. It goes under Varan. Both of them. Terrestrius. Amphibious. Salunga. And I genuinely can't even tell what any of these remaining ones are. What they're supposed to be or what they're from. I think one of them's like the Skull Crawler that gets killed by Mechagodzilla 2021, I think. I think I see a Kumonga in there. Is that the Showa Kumonga? If this is Showa Kumonga, I guess it goes under Showa Kamacuras. The rest, I'm not even gonna attempt to figure out what these are supposed to be. I think a lot of them are Monsterverse dog shit. So yeah, that's the tier list. Get a good long look at it, because it pissed me off to do. I'm out. That was way too much work. Whoever made that tier list, you put way too much freaking shit on it, because I should not have to, like, surgically separate each and every individual iteration of these kaiju and their separate versions. That was so ridiculous. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you've made it through that torture session that I just sat through. I really hope none of the audio is like screwed up or anything, because I am not re-recording any of that. That was awful. Look forward to the Monster Manual video coming out this Friday. I guarantee I had way more fun making that than I did this. Take it easy, guys. Make your own tier list if you want the joy of suffering through what I just suffered through. Catch you on the flip flop.